Hello and welcome back to Shakhtar to Glory, the challenge where we're trying to take Shakhtar Donetsk from Ukraine to Champions League glory as quick as possible. Um, Before we get into today's episode, if you enjoy my content, please drop a like, drop a sub to my channel. I've got some Fortnite stuff going on as well. I've got a few more ideas for other things to try and introduce perhaps as well. Any comments as well, feel free to drop a comment. I'll reply to all of them. So let's get back into the episode. So today we take on FC Oleksandriya in the league. They are third, we are top. Last time out we played, I think it was Dynamo Kiev. We had that ball draw. I believe it was a 0-0. Let's just jump in. This is a bit of a while since I recorded that episode, and I've gone a few ahead, and I recorded that a bit of a while ago. But I'm catching up now to where we are, and yes, we had that 0-0 draw. That was the last game of the regular season. So after that, the top six, I think it is, split. The bottom six split, and they play fixtures amongst each other. The teams in the top six can't get relegated if points work that way. Same with the bottom. The bottom team, I think, can't win the trophy. Obviously, it's unlikely with the points differences, but they can't break into above their six positions, I believe. So since then, that Kiev game, we've had a 3-0 against Vorskla. We had that goals from Romero, Azevedo and Ferreira. Quite a easy game really, 26 shots to 11 on target against 5 and 1. Azevedo got player of the match, a really good game. I think his goal was quite a good goal as well, as I seem to recall. But like I said, it was a little while ago, so it may be just ill memory. He's had a few this season, so he's been involved in a few strange goals. We then had the semi-final of the Cup against Chornomorets. That was again a comfortable 5-1 win. A bit of a rotated team, but it was still particularly strong, quite strong, particularly up front. We had 3 new signings all playing up front. We had Patrick getting some games. I am in these league games and the cup games trying to give a few more games to a few more different faces where I can. Vizeu has just been a revelation since signing for us. He's got 7 goals in 4 games in the league, 2 subs, so 7 in 6. I mean, that's a great return. And again, another Brazilian in the team. In Chornomorets game, so we went 1-0 down, but we replied immediately. Vizeu, then is it Guhu? Guhu put us 2-1 up. Boratke got a couple of goals, and Malishev got a goal as well off the bench to make it 5-1 and just seal the deal. Really, not much more to say on that game. And then we played Stout in the league, and 4-0. Again, a comprehensive victory. Same 11 as the team that played in the cup. Just trying to give it, like I say, trying to give a bit of a run out to a few different sort of players. Vizeu with, I think that's another hat trick. He's had a couple. It explains the goal ratio he has got. Gahu got one as well. Much more happy with the shots on target to the conversion rate there. We kept them to 0 on target. Stow were a good team at the start of the season. They did fade away a little bit. I think they finished 5th. They were, though, expected to finish, I think, bottom or certainly near the bottom. That didn't happen in the end. They finished quite high. So we'll see where that puts us in the table. So we are still top. We've got a game in hand. So this would push us to, what is that, 11 points clear if we win this game? It does. And that would pretty much seal the deal for us. I think. I mean, it'd be a long way back for Kiev. Obviously, we have still got to play them. So if they manage to get a result in that game, 3 points against us, that would give them a bit of hope. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. 8 games left. So what's that? 24 points to play for. We'll be 11 ahead. It's not set, but it would be a big mountain to climb for them. We have got them in a few games' time, which I think will be the next episode. We'll come back for that Kiev game at the end of the month, end of April. And then we have actually got them in the very last game again. They seem to be our last game of the season all the time. But hopefully that home game there that will be the next episode will see us. I mean, we may even have it by then, depending on how the results go. If they drop a few points and we win all our games, it may be over. The points might be too much for them to overhaul, but we'll be coming back for that game regardless. Then, if it is still open, we'll see how we go with the rest of the games. If not, we'll be coming back for the Style Cup final game. Just a bit of a finale to the season, bit of a chance to get another trophy, a bit of a double in the domestic double. So we do jump into a game, like I say today, against Oleksandriya. They are third, not really threatening on the points front, but they are the best of the rest. So Shakhtar and ourselves, obviously, and Kiev, the top 2 teams. we are edging it out of those top two. And like I said, they're the best of the chasing pack. In fact, they're kind of away from the chasing pack. It's almost kind of Shakhtar top, the best team. Kiev are in their own little bracket as well, but could challenge. And then you've got Oleksandriya at the moment, just sitting in third, just again in their own level. And then you've got another two, fourth and fifth are in their own. And it's strange, as I say, Elizabeths have won a few games in their bottom six game, and they're on 32 points. They should be sixth, but as they can't jump out of that zone, and Zoya are actually in only 2 points clear of the bottom places, but they can't drop down because they finished in that top six, and we have got them next. So it's interesting to see how that all fades out. You could see teams in the bottom half with 30 odd points and struggling to not be in the division or even go down, and teams in the top half with a bit of a fade away and not getting into just staying in the division just because of how they performed before the split. So it's a bit of a strange situation, not something I'm really a fan of. I think a league should just be based over the number of games and based out of that way, but that's not for me to say too much about, really. I'm not part of the Ukrainian FA, obviously. There's a similar situation in Scotland, I think. I don't know if they have the same things regarding position changes. I imagine they do, because it makes, in that way it kind of makes sense, because you're playing. It's harsh if you're in the bottom half by a point, play all the bottom teams, and then fly up to the top of the table. It would be a bit harsh. Whereas someone who's third, maybe a couple of points ahead, gets pulled back. But I've left the assistant to that. Didn't do too great. We'll send him to the tunnel as well. So we come out here, against the cost straight off the bat, but we do have a chance to counter, and obviously that highlight comes to nothing. But we do get a throw in quite quickly, and if we can take a quick advantage here, Tyson and Freitas. He's a new boy. He's kind of replaced the guy that we sold. He has been playing in the backup kind of squad, and I've been trying to maybe get Kovalenko some games, but he's come into this one just because he does suit the role, and yeah, that's a great finish. Another Brazilian, of course, obviously, as well. So we'll skip through that now. So we have another highlight pretty quickly. Tyson, can he do something with it? Cerna whips it in. Azevedo, Fred, and it's just cleared. Yeah, so with these games, the bigger games, the games that I think are a bit more, not tough to win, I think the backups could still win these games. But the games where there's a bit more doubt, I'm trying to give the big boys some games still, because they do still want to play. Ferreira makes it 2-0 very quickly and very easily. But yeah, we need to give them games still. We don't want them getting disenchanted, getting disillusioned, and pushing for a move or getting upset, the morale dropping, that sort of thing. And Ferreira, he is, without giving too much away from my plans for the transfer, he is a possible out, because as we'll see in the new season when we come to that episode, I have done some business for next year already. I am continuing to get some deals in place. I've got a couple I want to move on, particularly based on who I've brought in. I think I've made some good replacements, and Romero makes it 3-0 and he's bang on fire still. Yes, there are a few potential outs we could see. Ferreira's, I think, is one of them. I don't want to give too much away, like I say. There's a couple that could be out of our control. We could have Tyson, he's wanted by teams like Real Madrid, that sort of thing. We've got Fred. I'd be very surprised if he isn't wanted by someone at some point. And it would be hard to keep them away from clubs like Real Madrid. A bit like the deal with Man City. We couldn't really keep them away. And we go into half time. We had that sort of quick flurry of goals to go 3-0 up. And the rest of the half went by quite quickly, quite easily. They've had one shot on goal. They're not in this game at all. So we'll hand it to his assistant. He hasn't done great. Which is funny. Off camera, I actually played a few games where I let him do the team talks. And he actually got them quite right. Especially in winning positions. But on camera he seems to be a bit shy. So Ferreira comes through. Gets it out to Azevedo. Can he whip a good ball in here? He does. But I'm not sure who scored that. Tyson. And it's a bad mistake at the back there from Oleksandriya. I don't know the players' names. Struggle some of mine, let alone theirs. I'm not trying to say that name. Ferreira just squares it across. Tyson's there to tap it away. Yeah, I was mentioning about Tyson being a possible out. he is 29. He's had a great season for me. Wow, what a rocket that is from Bratsula. Uh, he's had a fantastic season, but he's 29. He's a winger by trade. He's not really a striker. He does play the wide striker roles, so it's not completely out of his. I mean, he doesn't really fit the role, but he's got some stats that work for it, and obviously he's done a job. So he's not completely, unusable for that position. But I think some of the players we've got coming in are younger. We can get some money of him while we can. I think he may be, if Real Madrid are still interested in the summer, he's a big contender, and they've pulled another one back to make it 4-2 here. And from having no shots on target in the first half, they've come out all guns blazing. Now, our team a bit taking it for granted, but we get another one. I think that's Ordetz. Yeah, big centre-back Ordetz with the goal there. Good set piece, Cerner whips it in. Header up, but then another header by Ordetz. And as we just wind down to 90 minutes here, they have the ball, but Cerner's going to be off. He's going to miss, hopefully not the Kiev game. That's in a couple of weeks. That would be disastrous. Really would be disastrous. So, don't really need to worry about this too much with just a couple of minutes to go. But we will drop everything back. Just make sure. And we'll go like that. Just to make sure for the last minute. But I mean, if they want to score, they'll score. And they've still got the ball. They're knocking it around our box nicely, but not really getting anywhere. Tyson gets it. Romero, Fred. He's got Azevedo out wide. Still a threat there. Ferreira, Tyson again. And the game ends. A slightly less than convincing as it seemed it was going to be victory there. 3-0 up at half time, and he sorts that one, the assistant. I was happy to leave him with that one. As long as he doesn't say nothing to address, we're normally okay. So that does give us the 11-point advantage over Kiev. And we go into next week against Zoya, who I think did win. They did 2-0 against Vorskla. It's a good win for them, but I still think we should have enough in the bag with a bit of a backup squad to beat Zoya. So we'll come back, we said for I think it was the Kiev game is the next big game really in the league. I don't want to play the smaller games Zoya. I mean, Vorskla are up there, but no. We'll come back for the Kiev game in a couple of weeks, and then we'll probably, depending on how the league's going, we'll come back for maybe Oleksandriya again, or we'll skip straight to the Kiev game. We'll see how it goes, and then we'll have the big cup final to end the season on a bit of a recap as well. So until then, I'll see you next time. See you later. Just a quick footnote. Obviously, I've just wound up the episode, but there's a little side point. I might try, in editing, I might be able to squeeze this into the episode. I should be able to, and having said this now, it's all pointless. But I'll probably keep that in just for, we did have some interesting news. Obviously, Cerner got sent off. He is banned for one game. That should be fairly soon. I'm pretty sure that won't affect. We did qualify for the Champions League. That secured the top two finish goes to the Champions League. So just need to secure that top place now for the title, and I presume a better placing in the qualifiers or straight in the pot, however we finish. We did get our budgets for the season for next year, and it's jumped up to 42.9. Now I don't know if that includes the 15 odd we had there to start with. It must do. We've got a few deals currently going through. I'm not going to scroll through. I'm not going to see the news. We did also finish Oleksandriya's title hopes with that victory. They're out of reach of the title. Don't think they were ever in reach for it, obviously. Kiev are the only real troublemakers for us, and I don't really see them coming back if we keep up playing the way we are. We've got the resources just to see this title out, and even if we lose to Kiev, I don't see us losing 4 or 5 more of the last, I think it's 8 games we've got left. So winding up, so back to another sort of following another wind up for the episode. We'll be back for the Dynamo Kiev game. I'm going to play through these games now, hopefully record it straight afterwards and go into it in full flow, and I'll see you next time.